Hola, bom dia. So after 20 months of renovations, we finally have a fully functioning kitchen.
Yay! Woo! So we just turned the water back on and tested to make sure nothing was leaking.
We had a leak.
And yeah, but the only part that was leaking was the end cap on the hose that will eventually go to the dishwasher. So I'm just tightening it up. And then we'll turn the water back on and just double check that everything is good. See how it goes. So you can see the setup here. And nothing is leaking on this end. And it looks like this one has stopped leaking as well. I mean, it's wet, but that was from before, so here. So there you go. That is the temporary end cap for the supply to the dishwasher. Before we can finish doing the plumbing tying into the septic system, I need to figure out the exact placement of the cabinet. So the upper cabinets, obviously, can only go as far over as the hot water heater. And then the lower cabinet is 10 centimeters wider than the upper cabinet. So I want to try and center it as good as I can. So I have my line for the upper cabinet placement, and then the lower cabinet will be overhanging by 5 centimeters on each side. So now we can move the cabinet back into place and make sure that we have the correct placement for the plumbing so we can get the right measurements where we need to cut it. The next job is to attach the countertop to the cabinet and add the tap. So I'm making the pilot holes through the framework for the original top and into the new cabinet. Just like that. All right, so check this out. We finally have a proper sink with running water, and I don't have to empty buckets outside when I do the dishes. Woo! So now that we have that sorted and we have the plumbing in place to connect the dishwasher, we need to finish tiling the floor. Once the floor is done, some of you may be wondering why I cut the end of the countertop pretty much flush with the end of the cabinet. So I'll show my original drawing in the top corner here. My original plan was to have the countertop going all the way across to the wall, but that would have required a more expensive custom countertop. So we went with the standard length, which ended about halfway. So it made more sense to cut it off at the end of the cabinet, and then I'll be building a shelving unit on the side, right up to below the hot water heater. It'll provide some extra storage. It will hide some of these hoses and eventually will kind of cover the hot water heater somehow, even if it's just with a curtain, so that it tidies it up. But that is the plan.
Don't you mean cabinet?
Yes, he's going to be very disappointed when we put the cupboards back on. Hey, you're enjoying it without the doors, aren't you? Want to see what else he's upset with? So, some of you probably remember that Drac likes to drink out of the bidet. He thinks it's his personal water fountain. Unfortunately, we used the connections for water from the bidet to connect the kitchen sink because to me, it's more important to have a kitchen sink. So if you come in here, you'll see that his water fountain is now missing. It was no longer connected, so we didn't really need the bidet in here. We don't use the bidet anyways. We use the bum gun. What you doing, sunshine?
Removing Drac's water fountain.
Yes, he's been sitting in it crying for the last 2 or 3 days since we disconnected it.
Yes.
So now he's going to be really confused.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One down.
New flower pot?
Sure.
It's gonna be my new seat on the patio.
You're crazy. Hi, Gina. Meow. Of course, this one doesn't come out as easy.
No. They just cut it, it's just plastic, so then we fill the holes in.
Oh, here it comes. Good one.
Water flying everywhere.
All right, so now we can just cap those off. Like cement over them.
Mm-hmm. Just a little Roboco in there.
Yeah. And then I can paint that part.
Yes. Clean it and paint it.
Yeah. So now we just need to scrape all the silicone off the floor.
Yeah.
And remove the little post, the threaded screw, and the drain. So yeah, right now it looks like a mess, but it already looks bigger in here.
Yeah.
Five minutes later.
Shut up. I'll fight you.
It wasn't. It was 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
4 minutes and 20 seconds.
So this part's not really all that exciting. I'm just going to use a scraper to remove the silicone and then clean this area up a little bit. So I'll show you what it looks like once I'm finished.
We planned on finishing laying the tiles this week, but the weather was not cooperating.
No. So I'll show you what the weather looked like, and we spent the day in our pajamas instead.
Mm-hmm.
We were planning on finishing tiling the kitchen floor today, but it is super windy and raining out, and Grant needs to cut the tiles outside. So I think we're going to pass on tiling. I'll find something else to work on. Next week we'll finish tiling and get the dishwasher connected.
And we will also be sharing some of the festivities from Carnival.
And last night we learned how to make chorizo, so stay tuned for a sneak preview at the end of this video.
Don't forget to give our video a like, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment below. We love hearing from you guys, and it helps our channel grow.
I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye!